Hello, 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 and welcome back to That Green Vegan Podcast. I'm Kelly, and this week's episode is going to be fun. We have a special guest, and when I say special, I mean special, like special ed. His name is George Mack. He's a very, very dear friend of mine, comedian, dad, and just overall amazing person. Welcome, George.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
How you doing this today?
I'm doing fine. Just cleaned out my car and getting ready to go to work, make this double time, and so I can pay these bills and the worldly thing, the things that we got to do in the world just to keep it moving.
I get it. So, George, this week, in our episode, we're gonna be talking about why men cheat.
Ooh. Very interesting topic.
It's a very, very interesting topic. And the reason why I'm asking you is because you're a man. So
Okay.
you can give us kind of a male perspective. Last night I was on this panel and I was talking to some of the people in the background, like behind the scenes. And during that conversation, someone was telling their story. And so when I was listening, it was a gentleman, very sweet guy. He was 63 years old, I believe. And he was just saying how he's alone. And he was in a relationship, but he messed that up because he was a fake. He told the woman what she wanted to know, basically, so he can sleep with her, and that it was his fault. And I'm like, wow. And someone made a comment in the back, well, at least he know he ain't shit. But it's like, why aren't people enough? Why do you think guys cheat?
It's so very complex. The thing about cheating is almost like when people try to discuss things about religion, is there's no right or wrong answer about it. It's just, I don't want to say it's just something that just happens, but we can go on this note. Y'all take it how y'all want to. Like in the jungle, you have the male lion and you have the female lion. And of course, the male lion, he just don't get with just one female lion. I mean, he got a whole bunch of little cubs all over Africa and South Africa and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so the thing is that men, we see things with our eyes, and if we see a beautiful woman or we want to, get with that woman, we will. And but on the other hand, is that we see another beautiful woman, it's like, oh man, this one is just about as beautiful as the one that I'm with. So they call it like spitting game, and you want to spit your game, and you want to talk to her, and I don't know. It's just this animalistic thing about guys that we feel like that we have to go out, we have to conquer, and so I think that's part of it. Sometimes it can be some things that go on in relationship or a marriage, and guys just be like, hey, I guess their get back is that, well, I'm gonna just do me and get out there and cheat. Now, on the flip side of that, I mean, females do it too. I think that
Lord.
Actually women do it a lot than guys, because we get caught up on stuff all the time. I mean, we trip over our shoestrings, everything. You got. It's almost like when y'all do y'all thing, y'all plan it. Y'all got y'all girlfriends involved and everything. Yeah, girl. We gonna set this thing up right here. Yeah, because I'm gonna get with Jose. Yeah.
George.
Yeah.
First of all, you're deflecting, because the topic is why men cheat, not why women cheat. And I want to go back what you were saying earlier about the animalistic and jungle and stuff. So are you basically saying that men can't be faithful, that it's just in their DNA not to be with one person because they were built? Because I do understand what you're saying as far as in Africa, how in certain tribes, a man did have multiple wives, but that was for the survival of their tribe, and that man was also providing. So if you look at it, you really can't have that argument as far as that part, as far as like, oh, they're trying to build a um, community, they're trying to build a tribe, because you have so many men out here that are leaving single mothers left and right. They're not providing for them. So, and then as far as the conquering, I mean, isn't what shouldn't you like be with a person on a different, not just a physical level, but like a mental level, a spiritual level, and wouldn't that be enough? I mean, I don't see men using that same energy as far as with jobs. It ain't like, damn, I gotta get a job. I gotta get another job. Oh, I gotta get another job. Oh, look at this job. I'm gonna get this job. I don't see that energy, but they quick, so quick to jump from bed to bed. What's your rebuttal about that?
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, you know, I believe if you have two women that you're dealing with, you should have two jobs. If you have three women, you have three jobs. If you have 4 or 5 women, you should have multiple jobs, and you should be able to support all of them, and not keep it a secret. Let everybody know what you're doing. Put your business out on the streets, but unfortunately, it's not like that. You know, we have to go out there and cheat and, you know, try to keep it a secret. And you always know what they say, you know, what's in the dark will soon come to the light.
You know what? But I'm sorry to cut you off. But just to go back, before I lose the thought, you said if you should have multiple jobs to be with multiple women.
Yeah, if you're gonna do all that, yeah, you better support. You gotta support all of them.
Well, if you so what if you find a woman and it's like, man, I'm feeling her, I want to be with her. You guys get together, you're dating, and then all of a sudden you see this female over here, and she got like a fat ass, like, 'cause that's, I guess, what guys like, and you go, oh, I'm gonna get with her. And you tell the first one that maybe you had like a whole connection, spiritual and every physical. And she goes, no, I don't want to share you. Go be with her. And that's the reason. Well, that's one reason I feel like men cheat and don't say anything, because who's going to sit up here and share? I'm sorry, sir, but make that make sense. So if you was with a female and she was like, oh, I want to be with you and 2 other dudes, you'll be good with that.
No.
So then, so how can you have that argument?
Well, I wouldn't say it's an argument. It's just, I mean, it's just, men are from Mars and women from Venus. So I guess it's 2 different perspectives there. And I'll say this, and I'm not trying to throw women and put it out there, okay, because men cheat, women can cheat too. But men, if we cheat and we do something and we get caught, women are so, adamant to forgive and, we can move past this and everything. Just the very thought, even if a female just say, you know what, I've been thinking about getting with Joe. Mm-hmm. We would lose our mind. She ain't even got with him, ain't did nothing, ain't nothing even happened. But we, as guys, we would lose our mind.
Is it ego?
What's that?
Is it ego?
Yeah, ego can be involved. Ego, a little arrogance, all that good stuff. Because I don't know why, but guys feel like, sometimes that the woman is almost like property. And it should be that way. I'm just saying, no, put it out there that, all women are property and everything. And they got some good guys out there that are faithful, that does things for the family and takes care of home. But then you got some that just, hey, man, every once in a while, just want to get out there and just, do their thing. And I'm not trying to say that it makes it hard for the other brothers out there. I kind of do, and even me myself, I'll put it out there on blast. Yeah, I have cheated, and the feeling is that now at 53 years old, I see things from a different perspective now. I really do. And so it's like, getting with the next person that I want to be with and hopefully spend the rest of my days with. I don't want to be that person that have to go out there and cheat or do anything or be with someone else just because of physical attraction. Because a lot of times that's what it is. It's just the physical attraction. You should want to be able to be with your lady and outside of the physical attraction, intimacy, being able to share things that no one else knows, be able to talk about things that, are just between the two of you guys. And I mean, that's like the ultimate bond to have. And I wish I would have did that in my marriage, that probably still be married today. But,
so your marriage ended because of cheating?
What's that?
Your marriage ended because of cheating?
I would say partly, but it was like when I was getting myself together and when I was going through counseling, she had enough, and so she moved on, and she got with someone, and hey, did it break my heart? Of course it did, but in this world, we all have to learn that there's a lesson to be taught and learned. And, sometimes you're going to learn from your mistakes, but it's going to hurt too. And so you take that with a grain of salt and be like, hey, look, I messed up. I did wrong. Now, the only way you can make it right is that next person that comes along, do it right. Make it worth your while to be with that person and no one else.
But okay, so my question to you would be this, and this is very, generic question. Why is it so hard to have that honest conversation with someone to just say, hey, I want to date and I want to see other people? Is it because of the property thing? Like, I want to be with this person and only with you. I don't want you, like, I could be with other people, but I don't want you to be out there because then you might go out there and find something better. And then you see that, oh man, this guy I'm dating over here, he ain't shit. Let's just keep it a buck. Because I feel like sometimes it's, like when you're in a situation, you don't know what's going on. Like if I only ate at Burger King, right? And so I only eat at Burger King, don't eat nowhere else. I'm loving Burger King. That's all I know. And then you take me to some gourmet restaurant and give me a gourmet burger. And I'm like, what? Burger King sucks. This is what I was missing. Is it? Do you think it's like that fear that they might get someone better and then leave you?
Yeah, I mean, everything is always possible. And, sometimes we hate to say this, but it kind of reverts back to the Bible. It's like, hey, look, there's always going to be something and someone out there better, have a better job, make more money, right. Somebody that maybe drive a better car, got a couple of mansions, whatever the case may be. And people look at that and like, wow, I can have this. So, and of course I'm talking more or less on the female side, but guys, that have their thing together,
well, I feel like I see what you're kind of going, like with men, y'all have options. You have options because, you'll have a lot of women out here. And I think it's this stereotype that, oh, you're going to die alone. Oh, you're going to be by yourself. Oh, you don't have a man. People look at you a certain kind of way. So I feel like a lot of women are settling just for someone who's entertaining them without really saying like, oh, I want to. Because so like, for example, the mansions in a car. Yeah, you'll have a dude, he'll have money, that person to be with that guy for their money. yeah, and then like I said, he got money, so he can see multiple women, you know, and she's just settling because she's like, well, I, I don't have his heart, but I got a car out of it, or I got status. I mean, do you think that that is something what men go through?
Yeah, I think so. Because I got a friend of mine, and he tells me the rule of thumb when you're dating, like when guys go out and they date, you go out. Of course, naturally, the guy is supposed to fit the bill. Okay, and and then the next one, he's fitting the bill. If you go out, you go eat twice. And he said a female would let you take them out twice before they just stop answering your calls. If they really don't like you, but they don't get 2 meals out your behind. So I was like, really? I said, nah. I said that, and then it happened to me. I took that lady out. We went out a couple of times and everything and stuff, and next thing I know, the texts and the phone calls kind of stopped, and I was like, "Hey," I said, "I guess my brother was right."
Okay, let me tell you something. Okay, coming from a female, this is how I look at that situation, or what might be happening. Like you go out with someone, right? First time, and you're kind of on the fence, like, it's your first time, it's kind of awkward. Let me try this again to see. Because sometimes they say your first impression is your best impression, but you're nervous. You're trying to get to know that person, you doing something outside of the norm. And then the second time you go out, and then that is like the deal breaker. So if it's not working, yeah, then why keep going on like, oh, let me give this person a third chance? I mean, some people click and some people don't click. And I feel like with women, we're more emotional. Men, y'all just want to pork majority of the time.
Not necessarily, not all the time. But let me just say this. I mean, I get that, and it's like me. I'd rather somebody tell me, look, hey, this is not going to work out, and then tell the person why. So maybe, somewhere down the line, he can fix that.
Oh, like kind of like closure.
Yeah, I mean, somewhat. Hey, trust me, I didn't think nothing of it as far as,
Well, why didn't you just reach out to the person? That's communication. Just reach to the person and say like, hey, did I say something? I was wondering, did she block you? Like,
no, just, the last text or whatever and stuff, it was telling, because I was going to actually go out there. We was going to go chill. I got off work early, and she didn't hit me back, or she actually hit me back and said she had a migraine and she was going back to the house. Take an Epsom salt bath or whatever and stuff. And me, I'm like, well, hey, can I join you?
So corny.
So that was the last text, and I didn't text back and hadn't said anything after that. So I kind of just left it as that. I guess so. But like I said, if that person wasn't interested in me, they could have said something.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't like when people kind of like string you along. That's not right. It's definitely not right. But okay, let me. I want to give you an old allergy. It's like an old tale, and you can tell me. So something happened recently, and I was talking to a friend. She was going through kind of situation where her man had cheated on her, and this story popped in my mind, and it was the one of the scorpion and the frog. Do you know that one?
No.
Okay, so there was a scorpion, and he was on the edge of the river, and he told this frog like, hey, can you take me across the river? And then the frog was like, you're going to sting me. And the frog said, no, I won't. And then the frog thought about it. He's like, yeah, because if he stings me, then we're both gonna die. So the frog's like, jump on. So halfway across the river, the scorpion stings the frog. And so the frog was like, oh, why did you do that? Now we're both gonna die. And the scorpion says, I can't help it. I'm a scorpion. And I think of that sort of sometime with men. It's like if you get with a man and he was a cheater, like what makes you think he's not going to stop? Just like that scorpion.
True.
True.
That's true in a sense.
Okay.
But you have to always look at things at an individual standpoint. And for me, I look at it like this. Sometimes you have to take a step back and say enough is enough. I didn't crush so many hearts before in my lifetime, and hey, when you get my age, you get to 50, there's definitely a great chance that it won't be another 50 years. So you literally got about a good another 20, 25 years to get this right. So, and saying that, everybody just have to take a look at themselves and what they want to do, for the rest of their lives now moving forward. Because like I said, we not promised anything from day to day. And and that's where I stand for myself right now. The next person that I get with, I just want it just to be us, and for us to do everything imaginable, for the rest of our lives, and make things happen.
Because you've been in a healthy, positive, monogamous relationship, right? And you really enjoyed that, and you want that again.
Yeah, I do, because even like when I look back at my marriage, in the beginning, everything was perfect. But in almost any relationship that starts off, it's perfect.
Because, that honeymoon stage.
Get together, yeah, you get together. You liking what you see. You liking what he and she are doing, and it just it just happens. And I really want to get back to that, because I think that's what's important. Being able to keep the beginning going. You know what I'm saying? Just keep the ball rolling. Always have something, in your back pocket to surprise somebody and and do things. The flowers, the candy, whatever it is. Taking a trip that's that wasn't planned. All those little things that just makes things exciting. Yes. Real quick, when I was married, my wife, she loved Prince. That was her favorite, right? Aww. And so Prince came. It was his last concert tour, and he came into Sacramento. And so I went, got the tickets and everything.
Ooh, but it was expensive.
Yeah. Well, I got them at a good price, but because we were sitting up kind of high and stuff. We saw Prince, but all we saw was the purple. We didn't really see his face or anything like that. So we grabbed the binoculars from the people that was next to us and stuff to actually see his face. So, yep, that's Prince. Because we wanted to make sure it wasn't like a lookalike or no shit. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so she didn't know anything about this. So it was our anniversary, and I went and we went to dinner. I didn't say anything about the tickets or anything, and I was like, "Hey, I think they got something going over at over there at Arco Arena. Let's go by there. I just want to ask a question." So we went. She didn't have no clue what was going on, and then so I was trying to ask the lady a question, whatever. I see it's like, well, to come in, it's like $20 to park, whatever. I'm like, I gotta pay $20 just to go inside that. I was like, okay. So then I paid $20, and then she looked at me. She said, "Prince is here tonight." And I'm like, I think so. She said, "Did you get tickets?" And I said, yeah, I did. And you should have saw the look on her face was like, wow. And she had never been to a Prince concert.
Wow.
We're in our late 30s now and stuff. And it was just, to me, that's intimacy. That's the things that you do. Doesn't have anything to do with sex. Don't have anything to doing with going out and trying to be with somebody else. It's that focus of, you know what, I'm gonna do this. This is my lady. This has never happened before. I'm gonna make it happen. And so that was a great night. And I want to be able to have many nights like that and many days like that where you just do something just out of the realm. And, and I think that's what keeps the fire lit And what's going a lot of times what happened in these relationships is that the fire goes out. Yes. And now we're trying to figure out how to start it again.
It's on both sides. You can't have it on the men. It's on both people are responsible for that.
It does happen on both sides. But you know what? I put a little bit more on the man because, hey, 9 times out of 10, we went after y'all. We got y'all. Like, man, I never thought in a million days that my wife would even give me a inkling of a thought. And but she did. She did because of fate and how things just kind of worked around. And I took it with a grain of salt because I always say, you know what, this is as close as I'm gonna get to Janet Jackson. I took that chance, and it was a good thing. We had some bumpy rides in our 18 years of marriage, but when I look back at it, we really had some good times. The only thing I regret is that we didn't get a chance to really take any trips together. Like go to the Bahamas, go to Jamaica, things like that.
Well, you were raising kids, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, raising kids. We wasn't the type that were like wanted people like, okay, well, have to go watch our kids while we go do things or whatever.
But that's important. You see. So to all the married people out there, find a way, because you have to keep those intimate moments, like George says, and so you can rekindle that fire. Because once it goes out, it's hard to start it back. Yeah. Oh my God, George, you're a really good guy. I know you're gonna find it. You are, you're a good guy. You're a good guy that just made some stupid decisions.
Well, thank you very much.
I can say that because I've known him since when I was 7 or 8 years old. So it's not like he's some person off the street.
Hey, y'all, just to put it out there, she whooped my ass in 2nd grade. And I say this story all the time, right? People ask me like, man, like, hey, I said, y'all see her now? I'm like, shoot, she was that size in 2nd grade. I'm like, man, of course I'm scared of her. But really, I let her whoop my behind because I really liked Kelly at the time. And then the next week, I had that little box that says, hey, would you go out with me, yes or no?
So thank you. So you no. And that's I got discernment. I had discernment since the 2nd grade.
That's why we're friends to today. 40 plus years.
Hilarious. You know what? This has been a pleasure talking to you. Tell people where you're going to be and how to get in touch with you.
Oh, wow. Well, I have a comedy show coming up in Sacramento. It is Monday, the 21st of June. I don't know what a venue is at this moment. I'm still waiting for a text back to let me know. But if you guys go to my Facebook is George Mack, and I'll have it posted on there, and you guys can check me out. I perform in different places all over Northern California. Haven't been to Southern California yet. I'm almost ready to go, but I'm scared of the Crips and Bloods down there. They both might attack me down there or something. I might not be coming back.
You're so silly. So that's George Mack, GeorGe Mack, Mack. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much, sir. You have a beautiful day. And to everyone listening, I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you so much for turning in. And I guess the takeaway from this episode would be true to yourself and open your heart to love. All right. Thanks for stopping by. You have any last words, George?
Peace, love, and happiness. That's what it's about.
That's what it's about. Bye.
Later.